Have you ever felt that subtle, nagging anxiety when an unexpected bill arrives? That moment of hesitation before agreeing to a night out, not because you don't want to go, but because you're mentally calculating the cost? Or perhaps the deep existential dread when you think about retiring someday and wonder, will I even be able to? This isn't a feeling reserved for a few. This is the silent soundtrack for millions across the United States and Europe. That feeling, right there, is the symptom of a deeper issue. It's not a lack of money. It's a lack of choice. It's the gap between the life you are living and the life you know, deep down, you are capable of living. Welcome. If you're hearing this, you've already taken the first most crucial step. You've acknowledged the whisper or maybe the shout that something needs to change. This isn't about becoming Scrooge McDuck, swimming in a vault of gold coins. This is about something far more valuable: autonomy, peace of mind, the ability to say yes to the things that matter and no to the things that don't, without financial fear dictating your every move. For the next 20 chapters, we are going to embark on a journey together. This is your financial freedom blueprint. We will start from the very foundation, from understanding your current reality with unflinching honesty, and we will build, step by logical step, a future of prosperity and security. This journey is designed for you, whether you're in the bustling financial hubs of New York and London, the tech centers of San Francisco and Berlin, or the quiet towns of the Midwest and the European countryside. The principles are universal. The world of finance is often made to seem complicated, shrouded in jargon by so-called experts who benefit from you feeling confused and powerless. They use terms like asset allocation, liquidity, compound interest, and equities to create a barrier. We are going to tear down that barrier. We will demystify these terms. You will understand them, not as abstract concepts, but as powerful tools you can wield to build the life you want. Think of your financial life as a house. You cannot build a strong, lasting house on a weak, cracked foundation. Most people try to skip this part. They jump straight to picking stocks or dreaming about real estate empires, while their foundation, their daily habits, their relationship with debt, their understanding of cash flow is crumbling beneath them. This is why so many financial plans fail. They are built on sand. Our first step, our absolute priority, is to pour that concrete foundation. And it starts with a single powerful act: awareness. Before we can plan where we're going, we must know, with precise clarity, where we are standing right now. This requires courage. It requires you to look at your financial situation not with judgment or shame, but with the curious, objective eye of a scientist examining data. There is no good or bad numbers at this stage. There are only facts. And facts are the raw materials from which we will build your future. In the next chapter, we will roll up our sleeves and do exactly that. We will conduct a full financial audit. We will track every dollar, every euro, every pound. We will shine a light on the inflows and outflows of your life. This might feel intimidating, but I promise you, the moment you complete this exercise, a weight will lift. The monster under the bed is always scariest when it's hidden in the shadows. We are going to turn on the light. This journey is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, discipline, and a commitment to learning. But with every step, you will feel more empowered. You will regain a sense of control you may have thought was lost. You are not a passive passenger in your financial life. You are the CEO, the pilot, the architect, and it's time to take the helm. Your future self is watching this video right now through your eyes. They are counting on you to make the decisions today that they will thank you for tomorrow. Let's not let them down. Let's begin. In our first chapter, we talked about the wake-up call, about understanding that financial freedom is about choice. Now, we move from philosophy to action. The very first action is to understand your current financial landscape with absolute clarity. This is your financial snapshot. It is the cornerstone of your entire blueprint. Without it, we are building in the dark. I need you to make a promise to yourself right now. You will approach this exercise with neutrality. This is not about guilt or regret over past spending. This is not about judging yourself for the debt you may have accumulated. This is a data-gathering mission. You are an archaeologist, carefully brushing the dust off the artifacts of your financial life to see what's truly there. There is no positive or negative data. There is only information, and information is power. Your financial snapshot has two critical components: your net worth and your cash flow. Let's start with net worth. This is the simplest, most comprehensive measure of your financial health at this exact moment in time. The equation is elegant in its simplicity. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. Your assets are everything you own that has monetary value. This includes the current market value of your home if you own one, the current balance in all your checking and savings accounts, the current value of your investment accounts, your 401k IRA, pension, brokerage accounts, the value of any cars, motorcycles, or other vehicles you own, the value of significant personal property, like jewelry or collectibles. Be conservative here. Your liabilities are every dollar, every euro you owe to others. This includes the remaining mortgage balance on your home, car loan balances, credit card debt. This is a big one, so be thorough. Student loan balances, personal loans from banks or family. Now, I want you to open a spreadsheet or take out a piece of paper. Create two columns. List every single asset and its value. List every single liability and its balance. Add up each column. Then, subtract your total liabilities from your total assets. That number, whether it's positive, negative, or zero, is your starting point. It is your financial baseline. This number does not define you. It simply tells you where you are. A negative net worth is not a life sentence. It's a starting line. It's the point from which we begin our ascent. Remember, we are turning on the light. This is the light. The second part of the snapshot is understanding your cash flow. This is the dynamic picture of how money moves through your life. It's the story of your earnings and your spending. For the next 30 days, your mission is to track every single financial transaction, every coffee, every grocery bill, every subscription fee, every paycheck, every side hustle dollar, every single one. You can do this with a budgeting app that links to your accounts, a simple spreadsheet, or even a notebook you carry with you. The method doesn't matter, the consistency does. The goal is to end this month with a complete and accurate picture of where your money is actually going. You will be shocked. Most people dramatically underestimate their spending in certain categories. We are hunting for the truth. This process of tracking is transformative. It moves money from an abstract, stressful concept to a concrete, manageable resource. You begin to see patterns. You notice the 10 subscriptions you never use. You see the true cost of eating out several times a week. You become conscious of your financial habits. And consciousness is the first step toward change. This might feel tedious. It might feel uncomfortable. But I need you to push through. This data is the map that will show us the path forward. It will reveal the leaks in your financial boat that we need to plug. It will show us the surplus we can harness to build your future. Your net worth is your photograph. Your cash flow is your movie. We need both to understand the full story. So, take a deep breath. Gather your statements. Log into your accounts, and start compiling your snapshot. This is the single most empowering act you can do for your financial future. You are no longer in the dark. You are taking control. And once you have this clear, accurate picture, you will be ready for the next crucial step, understanding why you spend the way you do. Because money is never just about math. It's deeply intertwined with our psychology, our emotions, and our habits. And that is exactly where we are going next. You've done it. You've compiled your net worth statement, and you're deep into tracking your cash flow. You're staring at the numbers, the cold, hard data of your financial life. And now, questions might be popping into your head. Why do I spend so much on takeout? How did that credit card balance get so high? I make good money. So why does it feel like I have nothing to show for it? This, right here, is the critical juncture where most personal finance advice fails. It tells you what to do: spend less than you earn, but it completely ignores the why. It ignores the engine behind your spending, your mind. Your financial outcomes are not just a product of your income. They are a product of your habits, your beliefs, and your emotional triggers. To change the numbers, we must first understand the psychology. Welcome to the most fascinating part of your financial journey, understanding your money mindset. We all have a unique money story, a script written in our childhoods based on what we observed, what we were told, and what we experienced. Did your family argue about money? Was it a source of security or anxiety? Was it considered taboo to talk about? These early experiences create deep-seated beliefs, or money scripts, that run in the background of our minds, dictating our financial behaviors as adults. Often, without our conscious awareness, perhaps you have a script that says, "There will never be enough." This can lead to hoarding money and an inability to enjoy it, or paradoxically, to scarcity spending, the urge to spend it quickly before it somehow disappears. Maybe your script is, "Money is the root of all evil," creating a subconscious barrier to building wealth because you don't want to be seen as greedy. Or perhaps it's, "I deserve to treat myself," which can be a healthy reward system, but can also become a justification for constant, budget-busting emotional spending. The first step to rewiring your mindset is to identify your money scripts. I want you to think back. What were the strongest messages you received about money growing up? Write them down. Say them out loud. Acknowledge them. Then, ask yourself a powerful question. Is this belief serving me and my future? Often, the answer is no. The belief is an outdated program running on a loop. The great news is, you are the programmer. You can rewrite the code. Now, let's talk about your spending triggers. Look at your cash flow tracking data. Don't just look at the numbers, look for the patterns behind them. Do you spend more when you're stressed or sad? This is emotional spending using retail therapy to soothe the feeling. Do you spend more when you're with certain friends? This is social spending, the pressure to keep up with a lifestyle. Do you make impulsive online purchases when you're bored at night? This is boredom spending. Do you subscribe to things just in case and then forget about them? This is lazy spending, avoiding small hassles that cost big money over time. Recognizing these triggers is like seeing the warning signs on the road. It allows you to slow down and make a conscious choice rather than an automatic, impulsive one. So, how do we rewire? We start by creating space between the trigger and the action. When you feel the urge to make an unplanned purchase, I want you to institute a 24-hour rule. Wait a day. If you still want it and it aligns with your values and budget, then you can consider it. Most of the time, the urge will pass. Next, we shift from a mindset of deprivation to one of prioritization. A budget shouldn't feel like a straitjacket. It should feel like a plan for your values. Instead of thinking, "I can't spend money on fun things," you think, "I choose to prioritize my future financial security so I can spend intentionally on the fun things that truly matter to me." This is a powerful, positive reframe. Finally, practice gratitude for what you have. Scarcity mindset thrives on focusing on what you lack. Abundance mindset grows from appreciating what you already possess. This doesn't mean being complacent. It means building from a foundation of positivity rather than fear. Understanding your money psychology is the key that unlocks everything else. It turns budgeting from a punishment into a purposeful act of self-care. It turns saving from a chore into a vote of confidence for your future self. It turns investing from a scary gamble into a deliberate act of building. You are now not just a tracker of numbers, but an explorer of your own behavior. With this self-awareness, you are ready to build a system that works with your psychology, not against it. You are ready to create a budget that doesn't suck. And that is precisely what we will build together in the next chapter. Armed with your financial snapshot and a new understanding of your money mindset, you now possess the two most important ingredients for success: knowledge and self-awareness. Now, we use them to build your engine of growth. It's time to talk about the most misunderstood, misrepresented tool in personal finance: the budget. Forget everything you think you know about budgeting. Throw out the image of pinching pennies, of saying no to everything, of complex spreadsheets that make you want to cry. That is not what this is. We are not creating a straitjacket. We are creating a spending plan. We are designing a system that gives your money a job of building the life you want, both today and tomorrow. This is your plan for personal profit. A budget is not a restriction on your freedom. It is the thing that grants you financial freedom. It's the map that ensures your money is taking you where you actually want to go. Without it, you're just driving aimlessly, hoping you eventually stumble upon a nice destination. There are many budgeting methods, but we will focus on two powerful, flexible frameworks that work incredibly well for the US and EU context. You can choose the one that best fits your psychology. Method 1. The 50-30-20 rule. This is a fantastic starting point for simplicity and balance. This rule suggests allocating your after-tax income into three categories. 50% to needs. These are your essential, must-pay expenses: rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, basic transportation, minimum debt payments, and essential insurance. If you can't live without it and it's mandatory, it goes here. 30% to wants. This is your lifestyle category: dining out, hobbies, entertainment, subscriptions, shopping for non-essentials, and travel. This is the category that makes life enjoyable and prevents you from feeling deprived. 20% to savings and debt repayment. This is your future category. This is where the magic happens. This includes contributions to your emergency fund, retirement accounts, 401k, IRA, pension, other investments, and any extra payments on debt beyond the minimum. The beauty of the 50-30-20 rule is its simplicity. It's a great benchmark. Does your current spending, based on your tracking, align with these ratios? For many, the needs category is too high, often due to housing or debt. That tells us exactly where we need to focus our energy, perhaps finding ways to reduce those core costs. Method 2. Zero-based budgeting. ZBB. This is the method of choice for ultimate control and intention. With ZBB, you give every single dollar of your income a job until your income minus your expenses equals zero. Hence, zero-based. It works like this. List your monthly income. List your monthly expenses, all your needs, wants, savings, and debt payments. Assign a dollar amount to each category until all your income is allocated. If you have $500 left after accounting for your needs, you don't just let it sit idle in your checking account to be spent unconsciously. You deliberately assign it: $200 to extra debt payment, $200 to your emergency fund, $100 to your new laptop fund. Every dollar has a mission. This method requires more active involvement, often on a monthly or even weekly basis, but it offers unparalleled clarity and control. It ensures that your money is working 100% for you. Tools like the envelope system, using physical or digital envelopes for categories, are a classic way to implement this. So, which one is for you? If you're new to this and want a gentle guiding framework, start with 50-30-20. If you have specific, aggressive goals like paying off debt very fast or saving a large down payment, and you want to maximize every single dollar, embrace zero-based budgeting. Now, let's get practical. You need a tool. This can be a simple spreadsheet, a notebook, or a budgeting app. Apps like YNAB, You Need a Budget, are fantastic for zero-based budgeting, while apps like Mint can help you track and categorize automatically against the 50-30-20 rule. The most important step is to start. Create your first budget for the upcoming month. Use the data from your tracking to make it realistic. Don't set your grocery budget to $200 if you historically spend $600. That's setting yourself up for failure. Start with reality and then look for areas to optimize gradually. Your first few budgets will be a mess. You'll forget categories. You'll underfund others. That's perfectly okay. This is a skill, and skills take practice. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. It's about becoming conscious and intentional. This spending plan is your master plan. It's what transforms your anxiety into action. It turns vague hopes into concrete steps. It is the single most important tool you will ever use to build wealth. And with this plan in place, you now have a powerful weapon. You can see exactly how much money you can strategically deploy each month to conquer your biggest obstacle to wealth building. For many, that obstacle is debt. And in the next chapter, we are going to declare war on it. Your budget is set. You know your numbers. You know your cash flow. You've identified that crucial portion of your income That 20% or whatever you can muster that is now ready to be deployed not for spending, but for building. For many of us, the first and most critical building block is to tear down the old structure that's holding us back. It's time to talk about debt. Debt can feel like a dragon guarding the treasure of your financial future. It's scary. It feels overwhelming. And its fiery breath, the interest charges, burns a hole in your budget every single month. But listen to me clearly. That dragon can be slain. It is not invincible. And you, with your budget as your shield and your plan as your sword, are the hero in this story. The first step in any battle is to understand your enemy. Not all debt is created equal. We need to categorize it. High-interest consumer debt. This is the dragon's sharpest tooth. This includes credit card debt, payday loans, and some personal loans. The interest rates on these can be 15%, 20%, 25%, or even higher. This debt is an emergency. Every dollar of this debt is actively working against you, compounding violently in the wrong direction. Medium interest debt. This includes things like auto loans or some private student loans. The interest rates are lower, perhaps 5–10%. This debt is still costly and should be addressed, but it's not the five-alarm fire that high-interest debt is. Low-interest debt. This might include federal student loans in the U.S., a mortgage, or a HELOC, home equity line of credit. The interest rates are often below 5%, sometimes even below the rate of inflation. This debt is more of a manageable burden than a dragon. It's often strategically wise to pay the minimum on these while focusing your firepower elsewhere. Our primary target, our number one enemy, is high-interest consumer debt. Your mission is to eliminate it with extreme prejudice. There are two powerful, proven strategies for attacking multiple debts. Both work. The choice depends on your psychological wiring. Strategy 1. The debt avalanche. The mathematical approach. This method saves you the most money on interest over time. Here's how it works. List all your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Make the minimum payment on every single debt. Throw every extra dollar you can from your budget onto the debt with the highest interest rate. Once that first debt is obliterated, take the entire amount you were paying on it, the minimum plus the extra, and avalanche it onto the debt with the next highest interest rate. The avalanche is mathematically superior. It's the most efficient path, but it can sometimes feel slow if your highest interest debt is also your largest, as it may take time to see one account fully disappear. Strategy 2. The debt snowball. The psychological approach. This method provides quick wins to build momentum. Here's how it works. List all your debts from the smallest balance to the largest balance. Make the minimum payment on every single debt. Throw every extra dollar you can onto the debt with the smallest balance. Once that smallest debt is gone, you get a win. You celebrate. Then, you snowball that payment onto the next smallest debt. The snowball isn't mathematically optimal. You might pay slightly more in interest, but for many people, the psychological boost of quickly eliminating entire debts is invaluable. It provides motivation to keep going. The best debt repayment strategy is the one you will stick with. Choose the one that excites you. Now, let's talk tactics. Can you negotiate a lower interest rate on your credit cards? Absolutely. Call your card issuer. Be polite but firm. Say you've received offers for cards with lower rates, and you're considering transferring your balance. Often, they'd rather lower your rate than lose you as a customer. It's a 5-minute phone call that could save you hundreds. Consider a balance transfer to a card with a 0% introductory APR. This can be a powerful tool to pause the interest clock and let your payments go 100% toward the principal. Just beware of transfer fees and the deadline when the high rate kicks back in. The most important thing is to start now, today. Take your list of debts, choose your method, avalanche or snowball, and make your first powerful, intentional extra payment. That payment isn't a cost. It's an investment. It's an investment in your peace of mind. It's an investment in your future cash flow. Every dollar of debt you erase frees up a dollar that can later be invested for you, not for a bank. This journey requires sacrifice. It might mean a tighter wants category for a while. It might mean finding ways to increase your income through a side hustle. But remember why you're doing this. You are buying your freedom. You are reclaiming your choices. You are slaying the dragon. And once that high-interest debt is gone, you will experience a feeling of lightness and control that is more valuable than anything you could have bought with that money. You will have built immense discipline, and you will have freed up a powerful army of cash flow. This army needs a new mission. Its first mission will be to build your financial moat, your emergency fund, and that is where we march next. The dragon of high-interest debt is slain, or you are well on your way to vanquishing it. Your budget is your trusted guide. You are in control. But life, as we know, is unpredictable. The car breaks down. The roof springs a leak. A global pandemic hits. Or perhaps you suddenly find yourself between jobs. These are not mere inconveniences. They are financial shocks. And without protection, a single shock can derail years of progress, forcing you back into the high-interest debt you worked so hard to escape. Your meticulously built house of cards comes tumbling down. We don't build on a foundation of sand, and we don't build without protection. It's time to build your fortress. It's time to establish your emergency fund. Think of your emergency fund as a financial airbag. You hope you never, ever need it. But if you have a crash, it's the only thing that stands between you and catastrophic financial injury. It is your personal insurance policy against life's unknowns. It is the bedrock of financial peace of mind. So, what constitutes a true emergency? This is crucial. An emergency is unexpected, necessary, and urgent. Unexpected. Your annual car insurance premium is not unexpected. You know it's coming. Budget for it. Necessary. A new television during Black Friday sales is not a necessity. A new transmission for your car so you can get to work is urgent. A 50% off sale on a new wardrobe is not urgent. A leaking water heater flooding your basement is. Your emergency fund is not for vacations, holiday gifts, or down payments. Those are savings goals, which we will talk about later. This fund is for true emergencies only. Now, the golden question. How much do I need? The standard rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months' worth of essential living expenses. Let's break that down. First, go back to your budget. Calculate your total needs category, your rent, mortgage, utilities, groceries, minimum debt payments, insurance, and other absolutely essential costs. This is your monthly survival number. Now, multiply that number. Start with a starter fund. If you have nothing saved, your first goal is a 1-0 mini emergency fund. This is your initial buffer while you're paying off high-interest debt. It stops a small problem from becoming a crisis. The full fortress. Once your high-interest debt is gone, you escalate. Aim for 3-6 months of those essential expenses. If your monthly essentials are 3-0, you need a fund of 9-0 to 18-0. How do you choose between 3 or 6 months? Consider your personal risk. 3 months. Choose this if you have a very stable job, e.g., tenured professor, government employee, a dual-income household with stable jobs, or a large network of family support. 6 months or more. Choose this if you are a single-income household, a freelancer or contractor with variable income, work in a volatile industry, or simply want to sleep soundly no matter what happens. Where do I keep this money? This is not investment money. The goal of an emergency fund is not growth. It is liquidity and safety. It must be easily accessible within a day or two, and its value must not fluctuate. Therefore, it belongs in a high-yield savings account. Do not keep it in your regular checking account where it's too easy to spend. Do not invest it in the stock market where a crash could coincide with your emergency. A high-yield savings account, often available through online banks, offers a better interest rate than traditional brick-and-mortar banks, while keeping your money completely safe and accessible, and FDIC insured in the US, or protected up to 100% in the EU. Building this fund is a marathon. It won't happen overnight. Fund it with your savings and debt repayment category from your budget. Automate a transfer every payday. Treat it as a non-negotiable bill you pay to your future self. Sell unused items around the house and direct the cash to the fund. Any windfalls, tax refunds, bonuses, gifts, should have a portion allocated here. Having a fully funded emergency fund is a transformative psychological event. It changes how you view the world. You stop living in fear of a phone call or an unexpected bill. You know you can handle it. This security gives you the confidence to make bolder, smarter decisions with the rest of your money. It is the foundation of true financial courage. And with this fortress built, you are finally, truly secure. You are protected from storms, and that means you are now ready to do the most exciting thing of all, to go on the offensive. You are ready to build wealth. You are ready to become an investor. And that journey begins in the next chapter. Your foundation is poured. Your debt is managed or gone. Your fortress is standing strong. You are no longer playing defense. The game has changed. It is time to shift from a saver's mindset to an investor's mindset. It is time to stop renting your future and start owning it. This is the most important mental shift on your entire financial journey. Most people work for money their entire lives. Their time and energy are traded for a paycheck, which is then spent, leaving them to start the cycle over again next month. It's the proverbial hamster wheel. The investor steps off the wheel. The investor puts their money to work so that eventually their money can generate more money than their labor alone ever could. You are no longer just an employee or a consumer. You are now an owner. This concept is best explained by understanding the fundamental difference between an asset and a liability. This is not accounting jargon. This is the core of building wealth. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. It has value and generates income or appreciates over time. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. It costs you money to own or operate. Your job is to acquire assets and minimize liabilities. It's that simple. Let's look at examples. A rental property is an asset. If cash flow positive, it generates rental income. A stock that pays dividends is an asset. It puts cash into your account. A bond that pays interest is an asset. Your personal residence is often debated. It's a place to live, which is valuable. But your mortgage, taxes, and maintenance are expenses taking money out of your pocket. For most people, it is primarily a liability, though it can become an asset if its value appreciates significantly. Your car is a liability. Your credit card debt is a super liability. Wealth is not measured by the car you drive or the house you live in. Those are often liabilities. Wealth is measured by the income your assets generate when you are not working. This is called passive income. The ultimate goal of this entire journey is to build a portfolio of assets that generates enough passive income to cover your cost of living. When you reach that point, you have achieved financial independence. You have won the game. You work because you want to, not because you have to. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not wealthy. I don't have enough money to be an owner. This is the biggest myth of all. The barrier to entry for owning pieces of the world's greatest companies has never been lower. You don't need to buy a whole building or a whole company. You can buy tiny, affordable shares. Through the power of the stock market and other public exchanges, you can own a piece of Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Nestle, LVMH, or Siemens. When you buy a share of stock, you are literally buying a tiny ownership stake in that company. You become a part owner. When the company profits and grows, you, as an owner, participate in that growth. The same goes for bonds. When you buy a bond, you are essentially loaning money to a government or a corporation. In return, they pay you interest. You become a lender. This is the investor's mindset, seeing yourself as a business owner and a lender, not just a consumer. It changes how you view the world. You start reading news about business and technology not with confusion, but with curiosity. How might this event affect the companies I own? This mindset requires a long-term perspective. You are not gambling on a stock price going up tomorrow. You are making a reasoned decision to become a business owner for the next 10, 20, 30 years. You are investing in the productive capacity of the human race over the long arc of time. It requires emotional discipline. The market will fluctuate. It will go down, sometimes dramatically. The investor sees a market downturn not as a disaster, but as a potential sale, a chance to buy ownership stakes in great companies at a discount. The consumer panics and sells. The owner stays calm and may even buy more. You are now an owner. This identity is more powerful than any single investment you will ever make. It is the key that unlocks the door to true wealth building. And the most powerful force, working in your favor as an owner, is not luck or stock-picking skill. It's a mathematical superpower that has been called the eighth wonder of the world. It is the force of compound interest, and understanding it is your next step toward mastery. Welcome, owner. You have adopted the identity. You understand that your goal is to acquire assets. But what is the engine that makes those assets grow from a tiny seed into a mighty oak tree? It is not complex trading strategies or inside information. It is a simple, predictable, and utterly profound mathematical reality: compound interest. Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world and the most powerful force in the universe. While the attribution might be apocryphal, the sentiment is absolutely correct. Understanding compound interest is understanding the secret to wealth. It is the magic pill. So, what is it? Let's break it down. Simple interest is earned only on your original principal. If you invest 10 at 5% simple interest, you earn 50 per year. Every year, after 20 years, you've earned 10 in interest, 50 x 20. Compound interest is earned on your original principal, plus all the accumulated interest from previous periods. It's interest on interest. Let's take that same 10 at a 5% annual interest rate, compounded annually. Year 1, you earn 5% of 10 equals 50. New balance, 150. Year 2, you earn 5% of 150 equals 52.5. New balance, 102.5. Year 3, you earn 5% of 102.5 equals 55.13. New balance, 157.63. It seems like small potatoes at first, right? But now, let's fast forward. After 20 years, that 10 grows to 653.3, more than double what you'd have with simple interest. After 30 years, it becomes 321.94. After 40 years, it becomes 739.99. You started with 10. You didn't add another dime. Just by sitting there and compounding, it grew sevenfold. That is the magic. But wait, it gets more powerful. The two most crucial ingredients in the compound interest formula are time and consistent contributions. Time is your greatest ally. The longer your money compounds, the more dramatic the growth. Look at the difference between year 30 and year 40. In that last decade, your money grew by over 700, almost triple the original investment. This is why starting to invest in your 20s is such a massive advantage. The money you invest young has decades to work its magic. A 25-year-old who invests $300 a month until age 65, a total investment of 144, will have far more than a 35-year-old who invests $600 a month until 65, a total investment of 216, The 25-year-old's money had more time to compound. This is why it's never too early and never too late to start. But starting now is always better than starting later. Consistent contributions are the fuel on the fire. Now, imagine you don't just invest a lump sum. You add to it regularly. You invest $300 every single month from your budget. You are constantly adding new principal, which then starts compounding on itself. The formula becomes a virtuous cycle. Your contributions buy more assets. Those assets generate returns, interest, dividends, appreciation. Those returns are reinvested to buy even more assets, which generate more returns, and on and on. This is a wealth snowball, rolling downhill, getting bigger and faster with every revolution. This is why your budget is so important. It's the system that ensures you are consistently fueling your investment engine, month after month, year after year. Automating this process is key, setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment account right after you get paid. You won't miss the money, and you'll never be tempted to skip a month. The average annual return of the U.S. stock market, S&P 500, over the last century is about 7% when adjusted for inflation. This is a reasonable long-term expectation. At a 7% return, your money doubles approximately every 10 years. This is the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual interest rate to get the number of years it takes to double your money. 72, 7 equals 10.3 years. Compound interest is the reason a seemingly average person can become a millionaire. It's not about a huge salary, it's about consistent investing over a long period of time. It is the great equalizer. It works silently, in the background, while you sleep, while you vacation, while you live your life. It requires no effort from you, only patience and discipline. It is the closest thing to a magic pill that exists in finance. And the best vehicle to harness this power for your long-term future, especially for retirement, is through specific tax-advantaged accounts. For our friends in the US and the EU, understanding these accounts is your next critical step. They are the rocket ships that will propel your compound interest journey into the stratosphere. You are now thinking like an owner, and you understand the awesome, silent power of compound interest. But where do you actually go to put these principles into action? For most people, the primary engine for long-term wealth building is the stock market. And for many, the stock market feels like a chaotic casino, a confusing whirl of numbers, headlines, and jargon designed to confuse the average person. It's time to change that. It's time to pull back the curtain and see the stock market for what it truly is, not a casino, but a marketplace. It's the world's greatest wealth-building machine, and it is accessible to you. At its heart, a stock market is simply a place where people can buy and sell ownership shares called stocks or equities in publicly traded companies. It's a giant global auction house for businesses. The New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, the London Stock Exchange, the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, these are just platforms that facilitate these trades. When you buy a share of a company's stock, you are not buying a lottery ticket. You are buying a small piece of that company's future profits and assets. You become a part owner or shareholder. If the company grows and becomes more profitable, your share of that ownership becomes more valuable. Additionally, many companies share a portion of their profits directly with their owners through regular payments called dividends. So, why does the price of a stock go up and down every day, sometimes wildly? This is the key to understanding the market without the hype. The daily price fluctuations are driven by supply and demand in the short term. If more people want to buy a stock than sell it, the price goes up. If more people want to sell it than buy it, the price goes down. And what drives people's desire to buy or sell? It's a complex soup of the company's actual performance, earnings, profits, growth, expectations about the company's future performance, news about the industry or the overall economy, interest rates set by central banks like the Federal Reserve or the ECB, and crucially, human emotions, greed and fear. The stock market is therefore a voting machine in the short term, but a weighing machine in the long term. In the short term, prices are emotional and irrational. But over the long-term decades, a company's stock price tends to reflect its actual economic reality, its true weight and value. A great company will see its stock price rise over time because it becomes more profitable and valuable. This is why our strategy is long-term investing, not short-term trading. We are not trying to guess what the market will do next week or next month. We are not listening to the hype on financial news channels. We are making a sober decision to become owners of great businesses for the long haul, trusting that over time, their value will increase as the global economy grows. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you know which companies to buy? How can you, as an individual, possibly compete with Wall Street analysts with supercomputers? The beautiful answer is, you don't have to. You do not need to pick individual winning stocks. In fact, for the vast majority of people, trying to pick stocks is a loser's game. It's incredibly difficult, time-consuming, and risky. The pros often can't do it consistently. Instead, you can do something far smarter, simpler, and more effective. You can buy the entire market. How? Through a magnificent invention called the index fund, and specifically, a type of index fund known as an exchange-traded fund, ETF. An index is simply a basket of stocks that represents a particular segment of the market. The S&P 500 index, for example, is a basket of 500 of the largest companies in the United States. The FTSE 100 represents the 100 largest companies on the London Stock Exchange. The Euro Stoxx 50 represents 50 leading blue-chip companies in the Eurozone. An index fund or ETF is a single investment product that you can buy that owns every single stock in that index. When you buy one share of an S&P 500 ETF, you instantly own a tiny, tiny piece of all 500 of those companies. Apple, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, Exxon, Coca-Cola, all of them. This is the ultimate strategy for the individual investor. It is diversification at its finest. You are not putting all your eggs in one basket. If one company in the index goes bankrupt, it's a tiny blip because you own 499 others. You are betting on the overall growth of American and European industry, not on the fate of a single company. It is also incredibly low cost. These funds are run by computers, not expensive fund managers, so their fees, called expense ratios, are very low. And low fees mean more of the returns compound in your pocket. This is the bedrock of a solid investment strategy. A simple, low-cost, globally diversified portfolio of index funds. It's not sexy. It won't make for exciting stories at a party, but it works. It is the most proven, reliable way for the average person to build wealth in the stock market. And the best place to hold these investments, thanks to incentives from governments who want you to save for retirement, is inside special tax-advantaged accounts. For our audience in the US and the EU, understanding these accounts is your next vital step. They are the secret weapon that will supercharge your market returns. You've discovered the bedrock principle. Owning the entire market through low-cost index funds is a winning long-term strategy. But which market? The S&P 500? The European market? The whole world? And what about other types of investments, like bonds? This brings us to the next critical concept, the one thing every great investor agrees on, the importance of diversification. It's been called the only free lunch in finance. Diversification is a simple but powerful idea. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's the practice of spreading your investments across different asset classes, industries, and geographic regions to reduce risk. Why is this so important? Because the future is unpredictable. No one knows for sure which sector of the economy will perform best next year or which country's stock market will lead the way. By diversifying, you ensure that you don't get wiped out by a disaster in any one area. If one of your investments is performing poorly, others in your portfolio are likely performing well, balancing things out. Think of it like this. If you only own technology stocks and the tech sector crashes, your portfolio would be devastated. But if you own technology stocks, plus healthcare stocks, plus consumer goods companies, plus energy companies, a crash in tech will hurt, but it won't sink your entire ship. The other sectors can help keep you afloat. So, how do we build a diversified portfolio? We build it in layers. Layer 1. Asset allocation. This is the biggest and most important decision you will make. What percentage of your portfolio to put in stocks, equities versus bonds, fixed income. Stocks are for growth. They have higher potential returns but come with higher volatility, bigger ups and downs. Bonds are for stability and income. They provide lower returns but act as a cushion, smoothing out the ride when the stock market gets rocky. Your ideal asset allocation depends primarily on your time horizon and your risk tolerance. A young investor in their 20s or 30s with decades until retirement can afford to be aggressive, maybe 90% stocks, 10% bonds because they have time to ride out market downturns. Someone closer to retirement will want to be more conservative, perhaps 60% stocks, 40% bonds, to protect the wealth they've already accumulated. Your risk tolerance is personal. If a 20% market drop would cause you to panic and sell, then a 90% stock allocation is not for you. Even if you're young, the best plan is the one you can stick with. Layer 2. Diversifying within stocks. Once you decide your stock percentage, you diversify within that category. By geography. Don't just own U.S. stocks. The U.S. market is about 60% of the global market. That means you're missing out on 40% of the world's opportunities. A well-diversified portfolio includes U.S. stocks, e.g., SP 500 ETF, international developed market stocks, Europe, Japan, Canada, Australia, e.g., an ETF that tracks the MSCI EAFE index, emerging market stocks, China, India, Brazil, etc., e.g., an ETF that tracks the MSCI Emerging Markets Index. By company size, you can own large companies, large cap, medium-sized companies, mid cap, and small companies, small cap. Each behaves differently. Layer 3. Diversifying within bonds. Your bond allocation can also be diversified. U.S. government bonds, very safe. International government bonds. Corporate bonds, bonds issued by companies, slightly higher risk and return than government bonds. Now, this might sound complicated, but remember our best friend, the index fund ETF? They make this incredibly easy. You don't need to buy 10 different funds. You can achieve a stunning level of diversification with just 3 or 4. One U.S. total stock market ETF covers large, mid, and small U.S. companies. One international stock market ETF covers developed and emerging markets. One total U.S. bond market ETF. Optional. One international bond ETF. That's it. A simple, elegant, low-cost, and incredibly powerful portfolio. You can adjust the percentages, your asset allocation, based on your age and risk tolerance. This is a portfolio that can last you a lifetime. The beauty of diversification is that it's a free lunch. By spreading your risk, you can actually achieve a smoother ride and, over the long term, potentially better risk-adjusted returns than by betting heavily on one thing. It's not about hitting a home run. It's about consistently getting on base and never striking out. You now have the knowledge to build a world-class investment portfolio. But to make it truly effective, you need to put it in the right container, one that protects your returns from taxes. And for that, we turn to the most important accounts you will ever open, your retirement accounts. You have your strategy, a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds. Now, we need to talk about where to put this portfolio, because the account you use is just as important as the investments inside it. Using the right account is like putting your investments in a turbocharged vehicle instead of pushing them in a wheelbarrow. It's about harnessing the power of tax advantages. Governments in the US and EU want their citizens to save for retirement so they aren't a burden on the state later. To incentivize this, they have created special accounts that offer significant tax benefits. Your mission is to use these accounts to the absolute maximum. This is not optional. It is the core of efficient wealth building. Let's break them down, starting with the United States. For our US viewers, your two primary weapons are the 401k and the IRA. The 401k, or 403b for nonprofits. This is an employer-sponsored plan. The beauty of the 401k is that contributions are made pre-tax. This means the money comes out of your paycheck before income taxes are calculated. The benefit: it immediately lowers your taxable income. If you earn 60,000 and contribute 10,000 to your 401k, the government only taxes you on 50,000. You get a tax break now. The money then grows tax-deferred. You don't pay any taxes on the dividends or capital gains each year. You only pay ordinary income tax when you withdraw the money in retirement. The golden rule: if your employer offers a company match, e.g., they will match 50% of your contributions, up to 6% of your salary. You must contribute at least enough to get the full match. This is free money. It's a 100% return on your investment instantly. Not doing this is leaving a bonus on the table. The IRA, Individual Retirement Account. This is an account you open yourself outside of work. The contribution limits are lower than a 401k, but it offers more control and investment choices. Traditional IRA offers the same pre-tax benefit as a 401k. Your contributions may be tax-deductible, Growth is tax-deferred, and you pay taxes on withdrawal. Roth IRA. This is a superstar. You contribute money after you've already paid taxes on it. There's no upfront tax break. But the huge benefit is that the money then grows completely tax-free, and you can withdraw it in retirement completely tax-free. This is incredible for young investors who expect to be in a higher tax bracket in the future. The general rule of thumb for the U.S. is contribute to your 401k up to the employer match. Get the free money. Max out your Roth IRA if you're eligible. Go back and max out your 401k. Now, for our friends in the European Union, the systems have different names but similar principles. The EU is more fragmented, but the concepts are universal. Workplace pensions. Similar to a 401k, these are often arranged through your employer. Contributions are often made pre-tax, and your employer may also contribute. The UK's scheme is a prime example, often with attractive employer matching. It's crucial to understand your specific country's system and maximize your contributions, especially to get any employer match. Personal pension plans, PPPs, or individual savings accounts, ISAs. These are the equivalents of IRAs. In the UK, the ISA is a powerhouse. You can contribute up to £20 per year as of 2023-24, and all growth and income within the account are completely tax-free. There's no upfront tax break, making it similar to a Roth IRA. It's one of the most flexible and generous tax-advantaged accounts in the world. Many other EU countries have their own versions of personal pension plans where contributions are tax-deductible and growth is tax-deferred until withdrawal. The key takeaway for everyone, whether in the US or EU, is this. Prioritize investing inside these tax-advantaged accounts before you invest a single dollar or euro in a regular, taxable brokerage account. The tax savings compound over time just like your investments do, supercharging your returns. $1 in a Roth IRA or an ISA is worth more than $1 in a taxable account because you will never have to pay taxes on its growth again. Open these accounts. Set up automatic contributions from your paycheck or bank account. Invest the money according to your diversified asset allocation. Then, do the hardest thing of all. Leave it alone. Don't check it every day. Don't panic during downturns. Trust the system. Let the twin engines of compound interest and tax efficiency work their magic for decades. Once you are maximizing these incredible vehicles, you have secured your retirement. You are well ahead of 90% of the population. And then, you can start thinking about what's next. You can start building wealth beyond retirement for other goals and dreams. And that is where we turn next. You are now a master of the tax-advantaged world. You're contributing enough to your 401k or workplace pension to get the full company match. You're maxing out your IRA or your country's equivalent personal savings account. Congratulations. You have officially secured your future retirement. You are on autopilot to financial security in your later years. But what if your dreams are bigger than just a comfortable retirement? What if you want to achieve financial independence before the traditional retirement age of 65? What if you want to save for a dream home, world travel, starting a business, or funding your children's education without taking on debt? This is where we go beyond the retirement accounts and start building wealth in what's called a taxable brokerage account. A taxable brokerage account is an investment account that doesn't have the special tax benefits of a 401k or an IRA. It's a standard account you open with a brokerage firm like Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab in the US, or similar platforms like DeGiro, Interactive Brokers, or Trading 212 in Europe. You deposit money that you've already paid taxes on, you buy investments, and then you are subject to tax rules on any gains or income generated within the account. Taxable might sound like a bad thing, but it's not. It's a sign of success. It means you've already filled up all your other, more efficient buckets. It represents optionality and flexibility. Retirement accounts have rules, age restrictions on withdrawals, contribution limits, required minimum distributions. A taxable account has no rules. You can put in as much money as you want, and you can take it out at any time, for any reason. This account is the key to bridge goals, the goals you have between now and retirement age. It's the engine of true, early financial independence. The investment strategy inside a taxable account is the same as in your retirement accounts, a diversified portfolio of low-cost index fund ETFs. However, we can be slightly more tax efficient here. Focus on growth stocks, ETFs. Investments that generate most of their return through price appreciation, growth, are more tax efficient than those that generate a lot of dividends or interest. This is because you only pay tax on a capital gain when you sell the investment. If you buy and hold for the long term, you defer taxes for years, even decades. In the U.S., long-term capital gains tax rates are also generally lower than ordinary income tax rates. Use ETFs for their efficiency. ETFs are generally more tax efficient than mutual funds due to their internal structure, which minimizes capital gains distributions. This is a technical advantage, but it matters in a taxable account. Understand tax loss harvesting. This is an advanced strategy where you sell an investment that has decreased in value to realize a capital loss. You can use that loss to offset capital gains you've realized from selling winners, or even to offset a small amount of ordinary income. It's a way to use market downturns to your tax advantage. This is more complex and may be better handled by automated platforms like robo-advisors if you're not comfortable. The core principle remains: invest consistently according to your asset allocation and hold for the long term. Don't let the tax tail wag the investment dog. The goal is still growth. We're just being smart about how we manage the tax consequences. This taxable account, combined with your tax-advantaged retirement accounts, creates a powerful, multi-layered financial ecosystem. Layer 1. Your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account, liquidity and safety. Layer 2. Your tax-advantaged retirement accounts, long-term, tax-efficient growth for age 59.5, yawn. Layer 3. Your taxable brokerage account, flexible growth for goals before age 59.5 and beyond. With this three-layer system, you are prepared for anything. You can handle an emergency, retire comfortably, and fund the life you want to live along the way. You are not just saving for some distant future. You are building wealth for every chapter of your life. And as your wealth grows, your needs will evolve. One of the biggest wealth-building assets for many people isn't found in a brokerage account at all. It's found in bricks and mortar. It's the question of home ownership. And that is a deep and important topic we need to tackle next. As your financial ecosystem grows, a major question often arises. Should I buy a home? For generations, buying a house has been considered the cornerstone of the American dream and a pillar of wealth building across Europe. It's seen as a rite of passage, a symbol of stability, and a guaranteed good investment. But is it? The answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Today, we're going to break down the real estate question with clear-eyed pragmatism, separating the emotional appeal from the financial reality. First, let's bust a myth. Your primary residence is not a great investment. It is first and foremost a place to live. It can become a good investment over time, but it shouldn't be your primary reason for buying. Why? Let's compare it to a financial asset, like a stock ETF. Costs. Stocks have very low transaction costs, a tiny brokerage fee. Buying and selling a house costs a fortune. Realtor commissions, 5–6%. Closing costs, title insurance, moving expenses, etc. This means a house needs to appreciate significantly just for you to break even. Maintenance. Stocks don't require a new roof. Stocks don't need a new water heater. Houses do. You should budget 1–4% of your home's value per year for maintenance and repairs. This is an ongoing drain that eats into potential returns. Liquidity. You can sell a stock in seconds. Selling a house can take months or even years. Diversification. A stock ETF is instantly diversified across hundreds of companies. When you buy a house, you are making a massive concentrated bet on a single piece of property in a single neighborhood. That's a lot of risk. So, if it's not a stellar investment, why do people build wealth with real estate? The primary financial benefit of a primary residence is leveraged appreciation and forced savings. Leverage. You can buy a house with a small down payment, e.g. 20%, and a mortgage for the rest. If the house's value increases by 3%, your equity, your ownership stake, increases by 3% on the total value of the house, not just your down payment. This is using leverage to amplify your gains. It also amplifies losses if the market goes down. Forced savings. Every month, part of your mortgage payment goes toward paying down the principal of the loan. This is essentially forced savings. You are building equity with each payment, unlike rent, which is 100% expense. So, should you buy or rent? The right answer depends on your personal and financial situation. Buying might be right for you if you plan to live in the same area for at least 5-7 years to overcome the high transaction costs. You have a stable job and life situation. You have a solid emergency fund plus a down payment saved up. The total monthly cost of owning mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance is roughly in line with the cost of renting a similar property. Renting might be the smarter financial choice if you move frequently for work or life. You don't have a significant down payment saved. The cost of owning is significantly higher than renting in your area. You value flexibility and don't want the responsibility of maintenance. Renting is not throwing money away. You are paying for a place to live, a service. It provides flexibility and freedom from repair bills and property taxes. The money you save by not owning, the difference between rent and a higher mortgage payment, plus the money you didn't use for a down payment, can be invested in the stock market, where it may very well outperform the real estate market. For those interested in real estate as a true investment, that typically means buying a property to rent out to others. This can be a powerful way to generate cash flow and appreciation, but it's a job. It's being a landlord. It comes with tenant issues, 3 a.m. phone calls, and significant work. The decision to buy a home is a major one. Run the numbers. Use online rent versus buy calculators. Be honest about your timeline and your desire for stability versus flexibility. Make the decision based on logic and your life goals, not on societal pressure or the myth that it's always the best investment. Because whether you own or rent, the foundation of your wealth will always be the consistent, disciplined investing we've already discussed. Your home is a lifestyle choice that can complement your financial plan, but it should not be the entirety of it. And as you build this wealth, whether in houses or ETFs, you must protect it. The final piece of the puzzle is not about making money, but about keeping it safe from catastrophe. It's about insurance. And that's our next essential topic. You are building something incredible. You are slaying debt. You are investing consistently. You are making smart choices about your housing. You are accumulating assets. Your fortress is growing. But a fortress needs walls and a moat to protect it from invaders and disasters. In the financial world, that moat is insurance. Insurance is the least sexy topic in personal finance. You pay premiums for a product you hope you never have to use. It feels like a cost, not an investment. But that is the wrong way to see it. Insurance is not an expense. It is a risk management tool. It is a transfer of catastrophic financial risk from you to an insurance company for a relatively small, predictable fee. Your goal is to insure against disasters that would be financially ruinous, not for small annoyances. Let's walk through the essential types of insurance you need to protect the wealth you're building. 1. Health insurance. This is non-negotiable, especially in the US, where medical costs are the #1 cause of bankruptcy. In the EU, robust public systems often provide a base level of care, but private insurance can offer faster access or additional coverage. The goal is to avoid being wiped out by a medical emergency. Understand your deductible, your out-of-pocket maximum, and your network. This is your first line of defense. 2. Auto, homeowners, renters insurance. These are also essential. If you cause a car accident, auto liability insurance protects your assets from being seized to pay for the other party's damages. If your apartment is burglarized or burns down, renter's insurance replaces your belongings. Without it, you'd have to pay out of pocket. If you own a home, homeowner's insurance is mandatory for your mortgage and protects your largest asset. 3. Disability insurance. This is the most overlooked and critically important insurance for your wealth-building plan. Your greatest asset is not your stock portfolio. It is your ability to earn an income. If you were sick or injured and couldn't work for a year or ever again, what would happen to your finances? Disability insurance replaces a portion of your income if you become disabled. If your employer offers it, take it. If not, seriously consider a private policy. It protects your earning potential. 4. Life insurance. Do you need life insurance? The answer is simple. You need life insurance if someone is financially dependent on your income. This includes spouses, young children, or aging parents you support. If you are single with no dependents, you likely do not need life insurance. The purpose of life insurance is to replace your income for those who rely on it. Term life insurance is what you want. It's simple and cheap. You pay a premium for a set term, e.g., 20 or 30 years. If you die during that term, the policy pays out a death benefit to your beneficiaries. It's pure protection. Permanent life insurance, whole life, universal life, is complex, expensive, and combines insurance with a convoluted investment component. For the vast majority of people, it is a bad deal. Buy term and invest the difference in your low-cost index funds. You will come out far, far ahead. 5. Umbrella insurance. This is an extra layer of liability protection that sits on top of your auto and homeowners policies. If you are sued for damages that exceed the limits of those policies, an umbrella policy kicks in. It's relatively inexpensive for a lot of extra peace of mind, and it becomes more important as your net worth grows. Your insurance strategy should be to self-insure for small, predictable risks. E.g., choose a higher deductible on your auto insurance to lower your premium, and transfer large, catastrophic risks to an insurance company. Review your insurance policies annually. Make sure your coverage amounts keep pace with your income and net worth. Shop around every few years to ensure you're still getting competitive rates. Having the right insurance in place is the final piece of your financial foundation. It allows you to take smart risks with your investments and your career, knowing that you are protected from financial catastrophe. It is the moat that lets you sleep soundly at night, no matter what life throws your way. And with this protection in place, your focus can fully shift from defense to offense, from protecting what you have to aggressively growing it. And the highest return investment you can possibly make is not in the market, it's in yourself. You have built a powerful wealth-building machine. You are earning money, you are saving it, you are investing it wisely, and you are protecting it. But there is a silent partner that takes a cut of every single one of those transactions: the government. Taxes are inevitable, but overpaying on taxes is optional. It's time to shift your mindset from tax preparation to tax planning legally and ethically, keeping more of your hard-earned money. Tax planning is not about evasion, which is illegal. It's about using the rules of the game, written into the tax code by governments themselves, to your advantage. It's about being efficient. Every dollar you don't pay in unnecessary taxes is a dollar that remains in your pocket to compound and grow for your future. This is a vast topic, but we will focus on the core strategies that are accessible to most people in the US and EU. 1. The power of tax-advantaged accounts. We've already covered this. This is your number one weapon. Remember Chapter 11? US. Contributions to a traditional 401k or IRA. Reduce your taxable income now. Contributions to a Roth IRA or 401k. Grow completely tax-free forever. EU. Contributions to workplace pensions are often tax-deductible. Growth in accounts like the UK's ISA is completely tax-free. Maximizing these accounts is the simplest and most powerful form of tax planning. It's a no-brainer. 2. Understanding your tax bracket. U.S. concepts apply elsewhere. The U.S. has a progressive tax system. This means you are taxed at different rates on different portions of your income. For example, using simplified numbers, the first 10,000 you earn might be taxed at 10%, the next 30,000 at 12%, and so on. Your marginal tax bracket is the rate you pay on your last dollar of income. Why is this important? It helps you make smart decisions. Traditional 401 IRA contributions. When you contribute, you get a tax deduction at your highest marginal tax rate. If you're in the 24% bracket, a 10 contribution saves you $240 in taxes now. Long-term capital gains. Investments held for more than a year in taxable accounts are taxed at favorable long-term capital gains rates, which are typically lower than ordinary income tax rates. This incentivizes buying and holding. 3. Tax loss harvesting, primarily for taxable accounts. We touched on this earlier. It's the practice of selling an investment that has lost value to realize a capital loss. You can then use that loss to offset capital gains from winning investments. If your losses exceed your gains, you can use up to 3/0 of excess loss to offset ordinary income, carrying any remaining losses forward to future years. This is a silver lining in a market downturn. 4. Mindful asset location. This is an advanced strategy. It means placing investments in the accounts where they are most tax efficient. Place less tax-efficient investments, like bonds that generate interest, or REITs that generate non-qualified dividends, in your tax-advantaged accounts, 401k IRA, where the growth is tax-deferred or tax-free. Place highly tax-efficient investments, like broad market stock ETFs that generate qualified dividends and long-term capital gains, in your taxable brokerage account. For our EU viewers, the principles are similar, though the specific mechanisms and account names differ. The core ideas are universal. Maximize contributions to any account that offers an upfront tax deduction or tax-free growth. Understand the different tax treatments for different types of income, e.g., savings income versus dividend income versus capital gains, in your country. Hold investments for the long term to often benefit from more favorable tax rates. Tax planning is a year-round activity, not just something you do in April. It's about being intentional with your financial decisions throughout the year. Consider consulting with a qualified tax professional, a CPA in the US, or a chartered accountant in the EU, especially as your wealth grows and your situation becomes more complex. A good professional can save you far more than they cost. The goal is not to eliminate your tax bill. It's to ensure you are not paying a penny more than you are legally obligated to. It's about respecting the power of taxes and designing your financial life to work in harmony with the system, not against it. These saved dollars are some of the highest return dollars you will ever earn. And the ultimate way to earn more, save more, and therefore invest more is to focus on the engine of it all, your own human capital. Your ability to earn an income is your most powerful wealth-building tool. And that is where we turn our focus next. Throughout this journey, we focused on what to do with your money. But let's pause and ask a fundamental question. Where does that money come from? For the vast majority of people, the source is their earned income, their salary, their wages, their freelance fees. Your ability to earn that income is your single most valuable financial asset. It is your human capital. Therefore, the investment with the absolute highest potential return is not a stock, a bond, or a piece of real estate. It is an investment in yourself. Increasing your earning power is the ultimate financial accelerator. A raise of 10-0 per year, invested wisely over a 30-year career, is worth millions of dollars in future wealth. Shifting your mindset from solely managing money to earning more money is a game changer. It expands the pie. Instead of just fighting over how to slice a small pie, you can bake a much, much larger one. Here's how. 1. The power of career capital. Your career capital is the unique combination of your skills, knowledge, relationships, and reputation that makes you valuable in the marketplace. Your goal is to deliberately and strategically build this capital. Become a lifelong learner. The world changes fast. The skills that made you valuable yesterday might be obsolete tomorrow. Dedicate time and resources to continuous learning. This could be formal education, a new degree, certification, designation, online course, Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, reading books and industry publications, attending workshops and conferences. Develop T-shaped skills. Have deep expertise in one area, the vertical bar of the T, but also develop broad complementary skills, the horizontal bar, like communication, project management, data analysis, or public speaking. This makes you indispensable. 2. The art of strategic job hopping. For decades, loyalty to one company was rewarded. Today, the data is clear. Changing companies, strategically, is often the fastest way to get a significant raise. Staying at the same company often leads to annual raises that just keep pace with inflation. Moving to a new company can often net you a 10%, 15%, or even 20% increase. Don't jump recklessly, but be open to opportunities that offer a clear step up in responsibility and compensation. 3. Master the negotiation. Never, ever accept the first salary offer. This is one of the biggest financial mistakes people make. Negotiating your starting salary for a new job or your raise during a performance review has a compounding effect on your entire lifetime earnings. Do your research. Know your market value. Use sites like Glassdoor, Levels.fyi, and PayScale to understand what someone with your skills and experience is worth in your geographic area. Frame it around value. Don't just say you want more money. Articulate the value you bring to the company. Use specific accomplishments and metrics. I led Project X, which resulted in a 15% increase in efficiency, so I believe a salary of Y is commensurate with that value. Be prepared to walk away. This is your greatest leverage. Knowing your worth and being willing to decline an offer that doesn't meet it is incredibly powerful. 4. Build a side hustle. The gig economy and the internet have made it easier than ever to monetize your skills outside of your day job. A side hustle isn't just about extra cash. It's about diversifying your income. Not relying on a single employer for 100% of your income is a huge financial safety net. Testing new skills. It can be a laboratory for a potential career change. Accelerating goals. The extra income can be directed 100% toward debt payoff, your emergency fund, or investments, dramatically speeding up your financial timeline. Investing in yourself is the gift that keeps on giving. The skills you build and the income you generate compound over your entire career. It creates more margin in your budget, which allows you to save and invest more, which compounds again in the market. You are your own most valuable asset. Nurture it, invest in it, and never stop growing it. This is the engine that will fuel every other part of your financial blueprint. And one of the most powerful ways to supercharge that engine and accelerate your journey is to explore the world of multiple income streams. To go from a linear income to a multi-dimensional one. And that is the focus of our next chapter. You are now focused on maximizing your main source of income, your human capital. You are building skills and negotiating your worth. Now, let's take that a step further and talk about building multiple streams of income. Relying on a single paycheck from a single employer is a risky strategy in a fast-changing economy. It's like a business that only has one client. If that client goes away, the business is in trouble. Creating multiple streams of income does more than just bring in extra cash. It builds resilience, optionality, and accelerates your wealth-building journey exponentially. It's the difference between a single-engine plane and a multi-engine one. If one engine fails, the others can keep you flying. The side hustle economy is booming on both sides of the Atlantic. The internet has demolished the barriers to entry for starting a small business or monetizing a skill. Let's explore the different types of income streams and how you can start building them. 1. Active income streams. Trading time for money. This is what most side hustles start as. You are directly involved, and if you stop working, the income stops. Freelancing. Use platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or directly network to offer your skills writing, graphic design, coding, consulting, virtual assistants. The gig economy. Driving for Uber, Lyft. Delivering food with Deliveroo or DoorDash. Tasks on TaskRabbit. Creating and selling. Selling handmade goods on Etsy. Creating a print-on-demand store. Flipping items on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. 2. Passive and semi-passive income streams. Building assets that generate money. This is the holy grail. You do the work up front to create an asset, and it continues to generate income with minimal ongoing effort. Dividend stocks, ETFs. We've already covered this. Building a portfolio that throws off dividend income is a classic passive income stream. Rental real estate. As discussed, this can generate cash flow, but it's often more semi-passive than truly passive due to management needs, though you can hire a property manager. Digital products. Create an online course, an ebook, a stock photo portfolio, or a software tool. You create it once, and it can be sold an infinite number of times. Content creation. Building a YouTube channel, a blog, or a podcast that generates ad revenue, sponsorships, or affiliate marketing income. This requires massive upfront effort with no guarantee of payoff, but the scalability is enormous. How to get started. Audit your skills and passions. What are you good at? What do you enjoy? The best side hustles lie at the intersection of your skills, your passions, and what people are willing to pay for. Start small. Don't quit your job. Dedicate 5-10 hours a week. Test your idea with a minimal viable product. See if there's demand. Parking lot your earnings. This is crucial. The fastest way to lose motivation is to see your side hustle income as fun money that gets spent immediately. Instead, direct 100% of it toward your financial goals. Use it to annihilate your debt, supercharge your emergency fund, or max out your IRA. Watching your side hustle money directly impact your net worth is incredibly motivating. A side hustle does require sacrifice. It means giving up some evenings and weekends, but it's temporary. The goal isn't to work 80-hour weeks forever. The goal is to use this extra effort now to create a financial position later where you don't have to. The extra income can shave years off your debt repayment timeline. It can help you reach that fully funded emergency fund in months instead of years. It can allow you to invest amounts you never thought possible. More importantly, it changes your identity. You are no longer just an employee. You are a business owner. You are a creator. You have agency over your financial destiny. You know that if you need more money, you have the skills and the initiative to go out and create it. That confidence is priceless. You are now attacking your financial goals from every possible angle. You're spending less than you earn. You're investing the difference wisely. You're earning more at your day job. And you're creating additional income streams. You are unstoppable. And with all these pieces in motion, it's time to bring them all together into one cohesive, personalized master plan. A blueprint for your specific life and your specific dreams. You have all the pieces. You have the knowledge, the strategies, and the tools. You understand budgeting, debt management, investing, insurance, and income generation. Now, we must assemble these pieces into a coherent whole. We must move from tactics to strategy. We must craft your master plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Your master plan is the bridge between your dreams of financial freedom and the daily actions that will make it a reality. It aligns your financial resources with your life's values and ambitions. The most effective goals are SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I want to be rich is not a SMART goal. I want to save a 20-0 down payment for a house in the next 36 months by saving $555 per month is a SMART goal. Let's build your plan across 3 time horizons. 1. Short-term goals, 0-2 years. These are your immediate priorities. They create momentum and build confidence. Examples: fully fund your 1-0 starter emergency fund. Pay off your highest interest credit card. Save for a needed vacation. Start consistently tracking your spending. Action. These goals are funded from your monthly budget surplus. They are your immediate focus. 2. Mid-term goals, 2-7 years. These are significant stepping stones. Examples: completely eliminate all high-interest consumer debt. Build a full 3-6 month emergency fund. Save for a down payment on a home. Save for a reliable car purchase with cash. Action. These require more sustained effort. They may involve dedicated sinking funds in your budget or the use of your taxable brokerage account for larger goals. 3. Long-term goals, 7 years. This is your vision. Examples: achieve financial independence. Your investments generate enough passive income to cover your living expenses. Retire comfortably at a certain age. Fund your children's college education fully. Action. This is the domain of your tax-advantaged retirement accounts and your long-term taxable investments. This is where compound interest does the heavy lifting. How to create your plan. Dream first. Allow yourself to dream. What does financial freedom look like for you? Is it retiring at 50? Is it working part-time at a job you love? Is it traveling the world for a year? Write it down. Be specific. Work backwards. Start with your long-term vision and work backwards to today. If you want to have 100 in 25 years, how much do you need to invest each month? Hint: use a compound interest calculator. This tells you your required monthly investment target. Integrate with your budget. Your budget is the engine that funds all your goals. Your categories should reflect your priorities. You should have line items for car down payment fund, vacation fund, extra debt payment, and investment deposit. Write it down. Your plan must be in writing. This makes it real and serves as a contract with yourself. It can be a simple document that states, my short-term goals are list with a deadline of date. My mid-term goals are list with a deadline of date. My long-term goal is state vision, which requires me to invest X per month. My asset allocation is e.g. 80% stocks, 20% bonds. My accounts are list your 401k IRA brokerage account. Review and adjust. Life happens. Your plan is not set in stone. Review it annually. Did you get a raise? Increase your investment contribution. Did you have a child? Adjust your goals and insurance. Your plan is a living document. This master plan is your GPS. On your journey, you will encounter detours, roadblocks, and unexpected scenic routes. Your GPS doesn't give up. It recalculates. Your financial plan should do the same. It provides direction and keeps you moving forward even when life gets messy. You are no longer wandering. You are navigating with purpose. But even the best-laid plans face storms. The final piece of the puzzle is not about the plan itself, but about the fortitude to stick to it when things get tough. You have your master plan. It's written down. It's smart. It's rational. But you are not a robot. You are a human being with emotions, biases, and a brain that is often hijacked by fear and greed. The greatest threat to your financial success is not a bad investment. It's your own psychology during inevitable periods of market turmoil. The market will crash again. It's not a matter of if, but when. Corrections, drops of 10%, are common. Bear markets, drops of 20% or more, happen every few years. When they do, the financial news will be filled with panic. Headlines will scream about trillions of dollars in losses. It will feel terrifyingly different this time. It always does. Your ability to stay the course during these times will determine your financial success more than any other factor. This is where the real money is made, not by buying low and selling high, but by having the courage to continue buying when everyone else is selling. This requires a plan for your emotions. Here's how to fortify your mind. 1. Expect volatility. Know that downturns are a normal, healthy part of the investing process. The market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. Drawdowns are the price of admission for the excellent long-term returns the market provides. If you expect smooth, consistent growth, you will be shocked and scared. If you expect occasional violent dips, you can meet them with calm preparedness. 2. Remember your time horizon. If you are investing for a goal that is 10, 20, or 30 years away, what the market does this week, this month, or even this year is irrelevant noise. The companies you own through your index funds are still producing goods, providing services, and generating profits. Their intrinsic long-term value has not disappeared in a crash. Turn off the news and focus on your long-term plan. 3. Embrace dollar-cost averaging. This is your superpower. By investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, e.g., $500 every month, you automatically buy more shares when prices are low and fewer shares when prices are high. This smooths out your average purchase price and removes the need to time the market. During a crash, your automatic investments are buying assets at a discount. This is a good thing. Never, ever make panic decisions. The worst thing you can do during a downturn is to sell your investments and go to cash. This locks in permanent losses and ensures you will miss the eventual recovery, which is often sharp and unexpected. The market has recovered from every single crash in history. It may take time, but it has always reached new highs. Have faith in the resilience of the global economy. 5. Control what you can control. You cannot control the stock market. You cannot control the economy. You can control your spending and your budget, your savings rate, your asset allocation. You can rebalance if a downturn throws it out of whack. Your continuous investment contributions, your own financial education. Focus your energy here. Action alleviates anxiety. Review your plan. Rebalance your portfolio if needed. Look for ways to increase your income or cut expenses to invest even more. This proactive stance is empowering. 6. Avoid behavioral pitfalls. Recency bias. Thinking what happened recently will continue forever. After a bull market, people think it will never end. After a crash, people think it will never recover. Both are wrong. Herd mentality. Following the crowd into buying frenzies, FOMO, and selling panics. Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. Anchoring. Getting attached to a past price. I won't sell until it gets back to what I paid. This is illogical. Make decisions based on current reality and future potential, not on past prices. Staying the course is simple, but it is not easy. It requires discipline, patience, and a steadfast belief in your plan. The investors who became wealthy were not the smartest or the luckiest. They were the ones who simply stayed invested through every single crisis. You have built a solid plan on a strong foundation. Trust it. Your future self is counting on you to be brave when it feels the most difficult. And if you can do that, you will arrive at the ultimate destination. Not just financial independence, but a life of true freedom and choice. This is the final chapter of our blueprint, but the first chapter of your new life. We have reached the end of our 20-chapter journey together. We started with a wake-up call and ended with a master plan and the fortitude to see it through. You have built a complete financial freedom blueprint. You have done the hard work of understanding, planning, and preparing. But I want to leave you with one final, crucial thought. This is not the end. This is the beginning. The final chapter of this series is the first chapter of your new life. Financial freedom is not a destination you arrive at one day when your account balance hits a certain magic number. It is a way of traveling. It is the peace of mind you have today, knowing you have a plan. It is the confidence you have today, knowing you are in control of your money instead of it controlling you. It is the joy you feel today, spending intentionally on things that align with your values. The ultimate purpose of building wealth is not to die with the most money. The purpose is to live the best life you can with the money you have. It is to use money as a tool to create options, to reduce stress, to buy back your time, and to contribute to the people and causes you care about. As your wealth grows, your relationship with money should evolve. It shifts from a source of scarcity and anxiety to a source of security and confidence. It shifts from a thing to be hoarded to a resource to be deployed for good living and good deeds. It shifts from a measure of your net worth to a measure of your self-worth, not because of the number, but because of the discipline, wisdom, and responsibility you cultivated to achieve it. Remember to define your enough. The relentless pursuit of more for its own sake is a trap. What is the income level that allows you to live your desired life with security and joy? Once you are on track to achieve that, additional money should be about increasing your freedom and your ability to give, not about increasing your standard of consumption indefinitely. Speaking of giving, one of the greatest joys of financial security is philanthropy. The ability to be generous with your time, your talents, and your treasure is a privilege that wealth affords. It creates a positive feedback loop. Managing your money well gives you the capacity to help others, which in turn gives your wealth a deeper purpose and meaning. This journey never truly ends. You will continue to learn, to adapt, and to grow. You will face new life stages, new challenges, and new opportunities. Your master plan will be a living document, changing as you change. But now, you have the framework, you have the knowledge, you have the tools. You are no longer a passive bystander in your financial life. You are the architect. You are the owner. You are the hero of your own story. It's time to close this video and open your life. Go live it with intention, with purpose, and with the profound freedom that comes from being the one in control. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Now, go build your legacy.